flex. The live is 1 in the 6. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar.
Monkey Tuesday! Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Droop Titan. Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Good morning. It is Monkey Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. You made it. You made it. Come on in. Hype the video. Share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel to do anything for us because they don't want to do nothing for us. We want to put cases out on us, and it don't work out. You know what does work out, though? The truth. So let's do this roll call because I want to get to this smoke immediately. G. McCall, salute. Stormy B-Man in the building with everything. If y'all missed Nerds on Culture last night, go to Rumble. We had a ball over there. Play the music we want. We can play the clips we want without the politics and BS of YouTube. Yeah, Columbia, salute. Jalen Hudson in the building. The CDB. Coach Hudson cooking this morning. Salute. That's right. Happy Black History Month. Salute. Dow Big G. Mr. Lamar. Ern Jordan. The Real Shelton. Tim Harmon. Eric H. Rick Blackwell. Del Riv. Steve L. The Mac. 88 Sports Talk. I'm Waffle. Sid Mark. Light Eyes. All right, let's get it, y'all. We're going to talk about back end money. And how, I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but how Al Heyman got these monkeys trained. And is Floyd Mayweather the unloyal whore, or is Adrian Broner on code? What are we doing? What are we doing? Anybody that still thinks the PBC is running things, just say me in the chat, because this is directed straight at you. Because I'm going to reveal some things to you this morning. Freedom's March, salute. My brother, go subscribe to my brother Freedom's March. Anybody still think the PBC is in control? You know, y'all recognize that ape's hairstyle from behind? From behind? From behind? From behind? From behind? Yeah. I know. Michael Fleming, salute. I know. Now, a lot of people won't call me a hater, man. Why are you dumping on Al Heyman? No. We have rode with Al Heyman and protected him for over a decade. All right? Yeah, Peter the Great, I don't care what that guy says. I really don't. Yeah, y'all saw what it's about with him. So, whatever. But I guess time reveals all truth, though, right? And what we got? What network the PBC's on? I thought they were running things. If they were running things, why do they have to form an alliance with Golden Boy, according to Oscar De La Hoya? What's that about? Now we are forming an alliance with Al Heyman. To do what? Fight Turkey Al Sheik, Dana White, and Zuffa and TKO. Good luck, man. Good luck. Especially when all the talent is going over there. And surprise, surprise, now we're finding out that fighters aren't getting paid. Floyd ain't the only one. They haven't been paid. So I want to talk about back-end money today. You know how the gorilla scratches his butt right there? Yeah, back-end money. What's that? I want all the boxing big heads to show up today. I want you to justify back-end money and apply it to what's going on right now. Because I left it alone. DP, what up? Big Dose, what up? I left this alone. I was like, hey, Floyd, you know, every time we turn around, he in a private jet. Vince, what up? He in a private jet, stacks some money, looking out a window. He clowning people. He trolling people. He really is the 50 Cent of boxing, isn't he? This guy, can you name a relationship that's flourished with Floyd Mayweather? Name one, please. His daughter's shooting people. I mean, literally shooting people. Him and 50 Cent were cool, then they weren't cool, then they cool, then they weren't cool. What happened there? Al Heyman don't talk. Now he's suing the Showtime off of a faulty deal with Al Heyman. The Brothers UK, salute. AB was little brother. Tank Davis, we got to go there? The Big Ape? Name one. If there's something I don't know about, just name. Oh, I'm sorry. This man, African Thought, salute. Does his association with that 24 karat community make better sense now? Does it make sense now? I'm like, what is he doing? What's going on here? He's trying to protect whatever wealth he has left. That's like, you know what he did messing with them? He filed Chapter 11. Like I said before, my Jewish friends, if you got a problem with them, you got a problem with me. Hey, bro. You was catching them back shots from Al, ain't work out. Don't think for 2 seconds in the atmosphere of these Epstein files, everybody's a freak. So I don't put it past him getting his cheeks clapped to save his fortune. Yeah, come over here, Floyd. We're gonna save your fortune, but you're gonna have to do a little something for us. If those people say, Floyd, you gotta get your ass back in the ring, he's gonna get back in the ring. Didn't he say he wants to come back? You think that's really him? You think, dude, he got out 50-0. But we all know that Floyd Mayweather's a living contradiction. We all know that, right? Belts don't mean nothing, they collect dust. But when he markets himself and talks about how great he is, what does he say? I beat more world champions than any fighter in the history of the sport. That's what he says. Why say that if belts don't mean anything? You sound like a confused woman. Hey, babe. What do you want to drink? I don't know. I might want a drink or a beverage. What? I would like some food or a snack. What? I need a hug, but don't get too close to me. Turn the car around, drop her ass right back off. Don't even, no. Take her home. Take her home. Lost in the Jungle, salute. Unique Dawn, Jose, J-Man, what up? Permission to chat, know that I love you. So you had people that hated the PBC anyway because Al Heyman's a black man, and that's where the Derek Gaines, my brother, salute. That's where the protection from us came in because we're a community, right? We're black first, right? And I didn't fancy guys like Rick Glasser coming for Al Heyman, especially when you're running down to Dubai and hanging out with Daniel Kinahan. That's a contradiction. Don't talk to me about Al Heyman when you're down in Dubai with Daniel Kinahan and you know that guy's history, but then, you know, see, Rick Glasser's a criminal himself. Look him up. I'm not lying on him. You know what he went to jail for? Y'all know what Rick Glasser went to jail for? This is all public record. And if I'm wrong on this, correct me. But if I'm not mistaken, it had to do with car sales. And he was rolling back the mileage. He was rolling back the mileage on cars and selling them. Imagine you being sold a car and you're told, oh man, this thing only got 5,000 miles on it. And then come to find out it really had like 500,000 miles on it. It's like, whoa, there's a big difference, man. Village Brothers, salute. So if I'm not mistaken, because I only read it once, but do your own research. He's a felon. And he ran down to Dubai to hang with felons. And he stood on it. When all these things started coming out to the American public about what a criminal Daniel Kinahan was, all of a sudden, he says this. I'll show it to you. He says this. Lost some followers today because of my support for Daniel Kinahan's presence in boxing, and I will continue to support all those that are assets. He referred to Daniel Kinahan as an asset to the betterment of the sport. The betterment, meaning he's going to make it better, of the sport and business of professional boxing. And no, this tweet, he used the wrong no. This tweet is not getting deleted. I asked y'all to look at his Twitter and see if this is still there. Since this happened, everybody that went down there to try and do business with him, they all fell on their face. Top Rank, you know, Bob Arum went over there. Mauricio Sillyman went over there. Rick Glass was invited down there. Dude's a criminal. $5 million bounty on his head. Brother Art Hostage was in the chat yesterday. He said he's living in Dubai as a Muslim. You know, what a convenience that is. You know, I think he pulled the Floyd Mayweather. In order for me not to get turned in, I have to go down there in the UAE and convert to Islam, so I won't be picked up by United States. So there's nothing we could do about that. How does Floyd protect his fortune? He buddies up with his Harvey Feinsteins and things of that nature. MJ, what up? You know, those guys. That's what he does. I knew that move wasn't pure. Yeah, I gotta get this ankle gear off of me. What do I do? Oh, I got it. Welcome down, Van Harder. Salute. I got it. I'm gonna say I'm Muslim. I'm gonna buy the block. Rob Neal, my brother. Miss Van Harder. Salute. Dill Spoolie. I'm gonna buy the block in Baltimore. Show that I'm a good Samaritan. I'm changed. I'm gonna convert to Islam, and I'm gonna ask the judge for mercy. And I'm gonna change my name to Abdul Wahid. Went through all of that, and he never changed. In fact, he has to go back to Baltimore to answer these charges. You see what I mean? You could take the hood out you could take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That kind of thing. You know, that's real bad. It's real bad. Crazy stuff, right? Stop me when I'm lying. So when Rick Glasser was attacking Al Heyman, I'm like, man, shut up, bro. And I always said, hey, man, for all we know, down the road, he might be right. But he's still a damn racist, and he's a prick. He looks at black boxers as cattle. That's what he is. He looks at black boxers as cattle. That's what it, you know. We're warriors. We're Mandingo warriors, right? Steve-O, salute. So, turns out he was right about the PBC's business practices. But I owe him no apologies, especially he said something crazy about the BZ, what up? He said something crazy about the LDBC too. He called us LDBCers. All right, cracker, fat cracker at that, with a black wife. Fat cracker with a black wife. You know she divested. And she looked just like how I imagined. Skinny legs, big old pot belly. And she married his white self out of convenience. Ain't no love there. He ain't breaking her spine in the bedroom. It was convenience. Whatever hood she from, she wanted to get out of it. That's my assessment of it. I don't care to know her. She can get on here and be like, oh, well, you're wrong, Mr. Drew. Don't care to hear from you. Because I saw her wearing yo, listen. She was dressed in a fitted leopard, a jumpsuit with leopard print. And his fat ass wobbles in with shades. It was the worst thing I ever seen in my life. You pot-bellied pig. When you're all stomach and no titties, come on, what we doing here? Gotta have extra something. Extra booty or extra boobs. She was all pot belly, skinny legs with no boobs. I'm like, what is happening? Why does your stomach look like that? You're not pregnant. Oh, that's Rick Glass's black wife. Got it. Hashtag boxing indeed. So this dude has nothing to say to me. Tay, good morning. Law Sweat Real Baltimore in the building. Salute. So anyway. This Dick Munchkin, Rick Glasser is irrelevant. But I'm going to tell you who was right and who warned us. Fred from Barbershop Conversations. Years ago, he said, listen, man, I'm playing cards with these guys, and this is what I found. And what was he met with? Oh, Fred, you're always hating on black men. You're always hating on the black. He's like, no. I'm just telling you what happened over a card game, man. You know what? JR Boxer, salute. He's like, yo, man, you know what? Okay. So he stuck to his words. He said, all right, well, we're going to see. Somebody's going to be wrong. So he said what he said, and I listened to it. I said, well, okay. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, Fred is connected. Did he not have Jason Whitlock on his live stream? How'd that happen? I mean, think about it. The man's connected. So I said, well, let's see. Let's just wait and see. Because what do I always say? Don't I always say time reveals all truth? And it's not going to happen tomorrow, or things like this take time. And the next thing you know, I'm at a presser, and I forget which presser it was right here in New York. And Steve Espinoza said they had about 12 dates going into the new year. Showtime is fine. I ain't thought nothing of it. I said, okay, we got 12 dates. I'm looking forward to it. Next thing you know, they got out of business of boxing. They got out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, where's my button?
What?
What the hell just happened? The man just said we had a lot of dates going into the new year, and they're pulling the plug. Now, to all of us, that was out of nowhere. But what did Fred do? He got on here and said, didn't I tell y'all about a year and some change ago that they're getting out? Didn't I tell y'all that? They revealed this to me over a game of cards. What are y'all? Yeah, okay, fine. All right. But I'm a coon and everything else. Now, I don't care about what Rick Glasser says because it comes from a place of hatred. KBG, what up? It comes from a place of hatred. Fuck him. But I said, man, Fred was right, man. And I never called him a coon or nothing like that. I was just listening. Now, look, I understand y'all don't like his political opinion. You don't have to. I'm looking at it like, okay, you're giving me, this is a fact. And I'm just checking for it. I'm just checking for it. Yeah, Tay, when what's his name was up there? When Jason Whitlock was up there, Ticket got on there and started giving it to him. And Fred removed him from the platform. But let me explain that for a minute. Thank Father, salute. Let me explain what that was. What Fred was, because I was in the chat going crazy. I was like, Fred, let me up. Everyone in the chat was like, yo, let Drew up. But I learned an important lesson about journalism that night. And here's what I learned. And I said this before. It's not that Fred was protecting Jason. What you don't want to do is scare the enemy off. You make them feel comfortable so they can what? Get talking. $1 trillion dream, salute. And I learned an important lesson in journalism that night. Out of Wally salute. Let them talk. And I should have known better. But I said, damn, why Fred ain't letting me up? He was kind of ignoring me in the chat, but it started to register because he let Ticket up. And, you know, Ticket's a huge platform, and Ticket went straight for the jugular with Kobe. And he wasn't belligerent, but he got on him. The loss of Kobe Bryant was an emotional thing for basketball. It was an emotional thing for the black community, man. Kobe was one of the heroes. They tried to cut him down. He made a mistake. He was guilty of adultery, but he didn't grape that girl. He didn't grape her. And they tried to lynch that brother. He was guilty of adultery, but that's it. And every other day, it felt like Jason Whitlock was attacking him. So then when Kobe loses his life with all those people in that helicopter, including his daughter, his baby girl, Jason wants to put together this obituary, and they were like, nah, bro, stay on your side. You was dragging this dude. For what? And it was you dragging Kobe because it was the thing to do. Whatever is the thing to do, whatever black people are celebrating, Jason Whitlock goes against that grain because it nets him dividends. You see YouTubers do it. Whatever the LDBC supports, they don't support. They call us Wakandans and everything else. Swear to God. So when Ticket got on there, he started body bagging him to the point where that fat bastard just folded his arms and pinched his man boobs. And he said, next caller. Now, if Fred had let Ticket up there, if he left him up there, what Jason would have done? He'd have ended the stream. No, you want to get him talking. You know what else I learned from that live stream? And I know Ticket, and Ticket's my brother. I know he got pissed because he went live on there and he started shitting on Fred. But look, it was an emotional thing. And I know that. And I fucks with Fred and I fucks with Ticket. But it registered. It registered. Because you know what Jason said that night? I'm going to tell you what he said. And mind you, let me say this. Ticket was not wrong when he came for Jason Whitlock. But you don't want to scare him away because you want to get him talking so you could hang him by his words later. Let them talk. Just let them talk. Let them talk. And that was why he let me up to talk to Sugar Hill sometime later. Once I understood the mission, I said, oh, okay, I understand what he's doing. It was that live stream that I learned that Jason Whitlock is a hypocrite. And he actually said it, those exact words. If you go to Barbershop Conversations and search his channel and put in Jason Whitlock, you'll see it yourself. He says, well, you know, he started talking about black men and what we need to do and be in touch with God and Jesus. And he said these exact words. Well, I guess in that aspect, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I'm not married. And I said, well, why isn't this dude, he's successful. He has all these white friends. I'm sure he has access to some kind of woman, no matter, even if it's a white woman. Why isn't he married? At this level, he's in his 50s at this point. Why isn't he married? You're making six figures. You're on TV. You're a catch. You're not in shape. You're a fat bastard, but so what? Women on that level are attracted to power. There'll be a decent looking woman willing to lay up under you as long as you take care of her. And she won't even step out on you. So why doesn't he have a woman at all? And then I started doing research. Has he ever been seen in public with a woman? I know some people want to keep their private lives to themselves, but you know who likes keeping their private lives to themselves? People who are living a lifestyle that's a contradiction to how they were raised. Don't swear to me about his Bible and tell me what I need to do as a black man by way of the word of God when you're actually fighting something. And then that's when people started saying, hey, man, you know, I know about this guy. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, word on the curb is, you know, he's a doodle chaser. Excuse me?
Listen to this right here.
Got it. Okay. Well, now it makes sense. And then I started looking at his mannerisms and how he talks. I said, this guy's in the closet. I believe he's in the closet. I can't confirm it, but I believe he's in the closet. These dudes that are so quick to tell men what they need to be doing, black men in particular, check their house. A prime example, all of these grifters running around here on YouTube. What's this dude's name? The big diesel nigga? Dark skin nigga, what's his name? He came out the gate. Black woman, you're a queen. And men need to pay all of the bills, and you a queen, and you can do whatever you want because you a queen, and queen this and queen that. And he's Ratchet, what up? And he's selling books and he's doing appearances, and these queens know he's married. They're showing up to these book appearances, and Derek Jackson. Is it Derek Jackson? The goddamn trainer. No, you know what I'm talking about. Jackson is his last name, right? I said Derek Jackson. That's the goddamn boxing trainer. Well, no, I'm bugging. No, it is. It is, isn't it? It's Derek Jackson, right? It's Derek Jackson. Objective fan, salute. It's Derek Jackson. And he was going on book tours. These girls are in the bathroom talking about, oh, girl, yeah, I would do this, and I would do this, and I would do that, and I would do this. His wife is with him on the stage. Further proof that a lot of women, they'll play second fiddle. They will, and it's okay. And then what do you find out? Cheating all over his wife. Derek Jackson. Let them talk. Let them talk. You know why? Did he go away? No. Is his book still selling? Yes. So it don't matter. It doesn't matter. And his wife knew what time it was. It doesn't matter. So I'm like, hey, man, peace, Derek. Go get your money, bro. I can't be mad at him. He's not the victim. He getting his bread. You know, yo, look. In this era of cancel culture, how the hell is he not canceled? You know why? Good looks go a long way, don't they? You see? You see? The difference between flirting and harassment is sex appeal. Mansa Musa, salute. See what I mean? And she stayed her ass right there. He kept doing what he was doing. He's still doing webinars and everything because he tall with muscles. And these women don't care. There's money in pandering. I could have came on here and did it. Wear tight wife beaters and say, hey, queens, you sexy queen, you mothers of the earth, and, you know, fuck these niggas. And I could have did the same thing. No, thank you. Get your money, Derek. I ain't even mad at you, bro. I'm not even mad at you. For what? KBGJ, if your ex-wife, your ex-wife used to be like, why can't you be more like him? Exactly. That's why that's your ex, bro. Mark, what up? That's why that's your ex. Exactly. And what do I learn? What do you learn about this? Let them talk. That's why Fred ain't let me on the panel that night. Because I was just going to, honestly, I was just going to go for the jugular and cuss him out. And then what would he have done? Fred, this is what you brought me up here for? No. We got to get information out. And when Ticket started making that man sweat and he folded his arms and said, next caller, I said, oh, he ain't got nothing for Ticket. Point proven. Next. Point proven. Ticket bodied him. Go find it. Ticket bodied him. But I understand why Fred, and let me be clear. I never spoke to Fred about that. It's just something that I put together in my mind. I said, man, you know what? I'd have chased this man off of the damn thing, and we wouldn't have found out anything. But once he figured out he couldn't deal with Ticket and the questions that he was asking him, I said, man, this dude is soft, bro. Jason Whitlock's soft. You suppose you supposed to be this professional journalist, if he's even a journalist. He's not that. I said, man, this dude's soft. And then I just listened to everything he said. He said, well, you know, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I don't have a wife. And I said, wait a minute. You telling me to follow in the path of Christ and, you know, get married, and which I already was. But I said, wait a minute. You're not living that. Are you trying to live that? Who's he dated at this level? I mean, we've seen Al Roker in his family. We're not saying flaunt it, but we know about it. So we're like, yo, man, True Boxing Night, salute. We was like, yo, man. I said, man, this man told on himself, and it got progressively worse. Then he became Forklift John says, you too far this time. Well, you know, I haven't gone far enough. Yeah, but you keep watching though. You're blocked, but keep watching though, because I ain't go far enough yet. I ain't even getting to the meat and potatoes of the show yet. Look, man, just let these guys talk. That's why people got mad when I spoke to Sugar Hill. I didn't scream. I didn't cuss. Matter of fact, Tay Jones threatened him. I didn't do that. Go listen to what Tay Jones said to him. He was like, yo, man, you know what you did. You know what you did. I was like, shit. Then there was a dude, his connection was bad, and then there was me. And I just asked questions, bro. And me and Sugar Hill speak the same language. Y'all know why. He knew in 10 seconds what he was dealing with. He knew. I wasn't on there. I might have been on there. I had just came from the gym. Back then, my gym was 24 hours. I came in, and Tay called me. He said, you never guess who's on Fred's show tonight. I said, who? He said, Sugar Hill. I said, you lying. He said, swear to God. I turned on my computer. There he is. I said, man. And I didn't call in right away. I watched the show for like an hour. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not calling in, man. I'm not calling in. Tay said, fuck it. I'm going in. So when Tay went in, I said, fuck it. I'm going in too. But my approach was different. If you missed it, it's all over YouTube. Just put in Drew Titan interrogates Sugar Hill. It wasn't an interrogation. It was a conversation. And he didn't do too well. That's where the car fire thing came from and everything else. It was taken out of context. But whatever. That was my viral moment. I got out of bed that morning. And I was told I went viral in the UK. I made the newspaper out there. I said, a newspaper? Sugar Hill was brought up there and attacked by American fight fans. He wasn't attacked. I didn't attack him. I didn't attack him. In fact, my call wasn't even the best one. It was the call after mine. Y'all can find the show, just find it. And look, it was the call after mine. Trill Will, salute. Snacks B in the building. D. Scott, salute. So let them talk. I let Sugar Hill talk. And I had questions. And they were never answered. I did the same thing to Mauricio Sillyman. Where? In barbershop conversations. So let me take it a step back. Jason Whitlock, Mauricio Sillyman, Sugar Hill. I'd say that Fred is connected. So when he said, hey, man, I'm talking to PVO, salute if I missed you. I'm talking to these guys over a poker game, and they're talking about how Showtime getting out the business. Fred, you's a liar. You hating and da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, Dank. Yep. You's a hater. He's like, okay. And now, right now, y'all can't tell me y'all didn't see anything strange with the PBC like last year. Y'all can't tell me that, bro. Y'all can't tell me that. Y'all knew something was. First of all, yeah, exactly. I had on. That's how you know I came from the gym. I had on a fucking do-rag, and I was so like enraged. I just didn't come out my gear because not for nothing. That's my only regret is being on there with a fucking camouflage do-rag. That's not who I am. That was gym attire. I had a camouflage do-rag and a camouflage wife beater. That's it. But I had just came from the gym. I don't walk around the street like that. I was coming from the gym. I didn't mean to do that. I like blacked out. And I was sitting at the computer. I didn't even take a shower. I'm sitting there like, yo, am I gonna beam into this shit? And I didn't want to miss nothing. And I was on the phone watching it with Tay, and Tay said, nah, I'm calling in. I said, all right, man. All right. I said, you gonna do it, I'm gonna do it then. All right, man. It was too late. But I got the point across. And I pissed a lot of people off right there. So I guess that was my viral moment. So I don't care. Mission accomplished. I saw Sugar Hill 2 times after that. In close proximity. Ain't nothing. Ain't no beef. I had questions. That's all. We're adults. I still don't believe him, but it is what it is. Thank you, Tay-Tay. Appreciate that. But anyway, y'all can't tell me. Y'all know the BMX boys, but you know, they're gone. They're gone. They're racist Nazi Mexicans. You ever heard of Nazi Mexicans? Swear to God, bro. I swear to God. I saved their logo just so if anyone thinks I'm lying, I have it saved. I said, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Whatever, man. I ain't gonna give them no shine. They're all gone. Cano Loco. No, not Cano. I'm sorry, not Cano Loco. Coco Tyler, that guy. Salute to my brother Cano Loco. I'm gonna call him today. Boricua, not Cano Loco. There was a guy named Coco Tyler, but he was a Mexican Nazi. What? That's like saying I'm a black skinhead. What? Coco Tyler. I don't know what war that they were fighting online, but it ran out. It ran out. Whatever. They're gone. So it's whatever, you know. See how far hate takes you? You know, but see, the truth will take you a lot further. Truth will take you a lot further. I know Louis Hinton. It takes them nowhere. But they're allowed to run around and pound on their chest and say, Viva Mexico, everywhere they go. And that's what I'm saying to this stupid ass fat chitlin, Jason Whitlock. When he's with that dude that owns Papa John, who's a racist himself, insane, salute. He's not intimidated by a 5'2" Mexican walking to the ring wearing his garb that represents his country, because that's a beautiful thing. A sombrero, a poncho, that's a beautiful thing. But he got intimidated by the black champion walking to the ring wearing a suit that represents our culture in his image, from his imagination, with the Black Power song. He wasn't talking about kill Whitey. Once again, it's like we're black, we're proud, and it was February. And then Papa John gets the shock look and looks at his house nigga, Jason Whitlock, and all of a sudden it's, oh, well, I don't represent that. And then magically they start rooting for Fury because Deontay made it about race. You dumb fat chitlin. Boxing's always been about race. That's how you know he don't know enough. He don't care to get educated. He wouldn't come on here and say, hey, man, go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing. And you can learn the history about boxing being a racist sport. From the 1800s all the way up until now. There go my brother Oddfellow, the War Report. There go my brother right there. Salute. Josh, what up? Isaiah, salute. Hen Dog, salute. So he don't know enough. And see, really, when I say don't argue with casuals, that's all Jason Whitlock is. You leave him alone. Yeah, F that guy, Mr. Shelton. You know, when your couch is dirty and your hairline looks like a fucked up stock market chart, please don't speak to me. You have nothing to say. You have nothing to say. So now, I know Abel. I know why he's blacklisted. And I knew when he was coming to YouTube. I did a video on that. I said, man, this fat bastard coming to YouTube, bro. He's coming to social media where he can freely hate on people that look like him. And here's the funny part. He doesn't know that white people don't care for people like him. Because they're like, yo, if you could turn coat on your own people, we'll use you up. But you'll never have a seat at the table. You'll never have a seat. You'll never have a seat at the table, man. We'll use you for what you're good for. But when we're done, don't think you're going to come up and lay up under us. The dogs don't come into the house, man. This is why when I play this little clip right here, it really means something. Please pay attention.
Well, you should let me help you with that.
So considerate of you, Jimmy, but you know we don't allow is in the house, so it's quite all right. It really is wonderful to see you, son. You keep up the good work.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. That was supposed to be Jim Brown. A family he's known all his life. Very nice to him. He's going to move some furniture. He says, yeah, man, let me come in and help you with that. He said, you know we don't allow niggas in the house. But it's good to see you. See that? When racism and bigotry is second nature to you, you don't think you're wrong. It's just how you're raised. You've been conditioned. Did y'all know the dogs are supposed to sleep outside? They're not supposed to be in the house with you. They're supposed to be outside. You know that? I ain't gonna get into it, man. I ain't gonna get into it. K-Rod, salute, my brother. Michael Ray, salute. So anyway, we knew that there was something wrong with the PBC. If y'all didn't know, see, Fred told us, but the first time we actually got a look into it was the Tank Davis and Lamont Roach situation. They were supposed to fight in Houston, right? I didn't think nothing of it. I was mad that he was picking a guy from 130. Y'all remember how that went? He's fighting Lamont Roach next. And I said, okay, you got Shakur with a belt. You got Devin Haney. You got Teofimo. What is going on? I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, fine. What were we told? Leave him alone. He's breaking bread with his brother from the DMV. All right. I ain't arguing with you niggas. All right, fine. So I guess y'all going to Texas, right? Y'all going to Texas, right? All right, cool. Then something strange happened. Y'all remember what happened? They said there's a problem with the venue. That's what it was said. And I said, what? They got a burst pipe, a terrorist threat? What happened? Rod Neal is on the ground over there. He live out there. Rod Neal says, nah, man. The Rockets season is in full swing. And like I said yesterday, when you're booking a boxing event at a venue that has a team that plays there, the best way to do it is book it when they're on a road trip. When these teams go on road trips. Rod Neal confirmed. They were on a 5-game road trip. You don't book just for that weekend. You book for the whole week. And they said there's a problem with the venue. So I said, well, what's wrong with the venue? Nothing. So what's going on? Then Blue Blood made the infamous phone call, and then they got mad at Blue. You don't know who that was on the phone. It's like, wait a minute. In Blue's video, he said anybody could call there. Get the information yourself if you don't believe me. I'm trying to get the questions answered. How do you know Blue didn't want to buy a ticket and go out there and cover the fight? How do you know Champside didn't want to buy a ticket and go out there and cover the fight? How do you know I didn't want to go out there and cover the fight? I didn't. But don't Tank got fans that travel for him? I'm being serious. Y'all remember the post that came out? The dude on the phone said, I know what's been said online, but there's nothing booked for that week. And then Blue asked, was there ever anything booked for that week? The guy on the phone said no. And what was I met with? A couple of people calling me on the phone. Drew, you got to be careful. You got to be careful listening to Blue. I'm like, huh? What? I just don't want you to get put in a weird position by listening to this guy. Oh, now Blue is some guy. Okay, go ahead. I just let them talk. Because Blue, he don't know who he was talking to. Nobody that answers the phone be in the business rooms knowing what the millionaires are talking about. This was being told to me. So let me get this straight. The guy on the phone, the last thing he's told how to answer is what the people in the business offices told him to say. Hey, man, look, for this date, if anyone calls and asks, just say there's nothing there. We can't false advertise. The PBC put out a fight date at this venue. For whatever reason, you know what the person on the phone don't know? The person on the phone doesn't know why there's nothing happening by way of the PBC. So if anyone calls, just let them know there's no fight that week. Not a salute. That's it. And that's all homie on the phone said. I know what's being said online, but there's nothing booked for that week. And Blue asked, was there ever anything booked for that week? And the guy said no. And I know what's been said online, but no. That's all. Blue ain't make it up. He made the phone call. Oh, man, but how the hell? How does he know? We don't know who he was on the phone with. He said, fine, call yourself. You can call yourself. Did anyone do it? No. Because they were comfortable in their feelings. That's how you know it's really not about boxing. When you're dealing with a motherfucker that just wants to be right. That's why a lot of times I'm not I don't want to be first with information. I'd rather be dead last because I want to be correct. I might not talk about something until it's like a week old. I want to be correct. I don't have to be first. And what happened? There was no fight in Houston, right? So I guess Blue won that, right? Oh, well, he was right about that, but everything else, man, shut up. Shut up. Moving along. Then we saw the presentation. It was at a college somewhere. The cameras were shoddy. It was all shady looking. And I said, what the fuck is this? I was like, whoa, hold on, man. What's going on here? It looks like they're having financial problems, but that can't be right? Okay, left it alone. So I guess the PBC has a good enough relationship with Brooklyn because at the Barclays, you know, he sold out there, whatever. He fights Lamont Roach to a draw. In between that, there's an Amazon deal, and it's worth more than any amount of money that Floyd Mayweather made, which we find out now that that's kind of weird since he's suing Showtime for $340 million. So I guess if it's a contract for $5, that's more than what Floyd has made because he hasn't seen all his bread, right? I mean, I'm joking, but not really. So what happened? What happened to that Amazon deal? Y'all remember when they were partying in the streets? K-Ho put on his hoodie and turned sideways. Yeah, my boy got this 7-fight deal. You know what I'm saying? He got this 7-fight deal. And I fucks with him, man. I defend Tank Davis from more terrorists, foreign and domestic. More enemies, foreign and domestic. I ain't know that nigga had enemies, but whatever. Well, good. You know what I was doing? I was just watching. I said 7-fight deal. You know what I said? That's great. There's no way he can have 7 fights without fighting at least 3 of his contemporaries. Shakur, Devin, T.O., anybody. I said, that's great. As a matter of fact, what did he say about that 7-fight deal? Never mind, I'll play it for you.
You say before you retire, you want to fight Devin and Shakur. Is that still the plan?
I never said that. When I said that? I never said that. But I would for sure. But I never said before I retire I want to fight them too. I never said that. You said
new deal, 7-fight deal, which is music to the ears of many boxing fans. Get to see you in action for several more years. What type of names are we talking about on those 7 names?
whoever you name, they could be in it.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Oh. But when I asked, is Tank a liar? You know, when I asked if he's a liar, I had one dumbass up here saying, well, he's human. No, that's not what I asked you. Stick to the topic. The answer is yes, he's a liar. But this is twofold. First of all, he was never fighting his contemporaries. Let's get that out the way. But the trick to this is he was also lied to. I told y'all that. I told y'all that. Delano, he didn't get anybody. He didn't get anybody. I wasn't even checking for Frank Martin, to be honest with you. He drained him. And Ryan Garcia was never his contemporary. I don't know why the fuck y'all celebrate Ryan Garcia. That nigga hasn't done anything. Shakur, Devin, Teofimo, Lomachenko. That's it. We couldn't even get that. You get Ryan Garcia, Hector Garcia, Mario Barrios at 140 that he can't make anymore for whatever reason. And Pitbull Cruz and Rolly Romero. All that food on the table. And y'all niggas suck. Y'all suckers are buying this crap. And that's why he's the Derek Jackson of boxing to y'all. Because y'all don't care. Y'all want to just see him. I mean, just see him walking down the block. See him with a do-rag on. See him shadow box. See him cuss you out. Y'all are battered wives. Y'all are loyal whores. How does that feel to be a loyal whore? Now I'm getting to it. Now Tank was lied to. Right? Because a bigger hoe came through and pimped the pimping. And let me ask you Tank fans this, because I keep asking and y'all don't respond. Y'all ready? How the fuck does Al Heyman and the PBC allow Canelo Alvarez to come through for a short time and drain y'all swamp? And by the way, we never got a Benavidez fight. He pumped, dumped, and broke out with the bread. And y'all had Tank right there the whole time. How the fuck did y'all see more value in the PBC? How the PBC saw more value in Canelo fucking Alvarez when they had Tank Davis, who y'all said was the face of boxing? How does that happen? Tell me. Tank the face of boxing. Not according to Canelo. Forget Canelo. Not according to the PBC. They rolled out the red carpet, flew that hoe in. She came in and slid down that pole, picked up all the money, and Tank was, you got off that night. Whatever. They saw more value in Canelo Alvarez, and they had Tank already. Lied to him about a 7-fight deal and all that. Go figure, right? Go figure, right? Hold on. Did I lie? Did I lie just now? Did I lie? Todavía soy mejor que tú. What did I just say? Todavía soy mejor que tú. What did I just say? What did I just say? That's what Canelo, I did a live on that. That's what Canelo said to Tank. There was a desk of money. Canelo came in there with his shades on and moved that little nigga to the side. Thank you, Jose. That's what I said. I'm still better than you. Todavía soy mejor que tú. I'm still better than you. But wait a minute. Did Canelo say that? Or did Al say that? Did Al say he's still better than you? Canelo came through, made a few million, and got the fuck out of Dodge. Tank was sitting right there. Delano, am I lying? You're the only Tank fan in here. Where's Prez? Am I lying? Because when that was happening, I said, the PBC just signed Canelo? How? Why? Why? Tank's there. In fact, I know y'all heard me say, why they signing him and they got that brother right there? I know y'all heard me say that. Y'all missed it. But I said that shit. I said, why they signing him when they got the brother right here? I know I said that. Y'all didn't hear that. Did K-Ho say that? Yo, man, why they got Canelo over there, man? Tank right there. No, his dick blowing ass probably said, hey, you know, PBC making power moves. They didn't sign Canelo. Now we got Tank. Yeah, all right. That hoe came through, drained the swamp, tricked off all your money, and he's on to the next. Todavía soy mejor que tú. And there's your Tank Davis. All that food on the table. But the PBC runs boxing, huh? I knew something was wrong when they couldn't secure the venue in Houston, the Toyota Center. I said, this don't look good. And I kept thinking, I said, man, Fred told us about this about 2 years ago. Uh-oh, I'm just going to watch. Oh, we got an Amazon deal. I said, okay. Lie. Then Showtime gets out of boxing. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Hold on. Let me see. No Amazon, no Showtime. Canelo gone. I'm like, wait, something's not right. Something's not right. Then I see Top Rank getting, ESPN got out of boxing. They're fighting on Tubi now. I'm like, wait a minute. Everything is collapsing. The only people standing is who? Turkey. And all these cats ran over to him. And he's been putting on. And what are the haters saying? Oh, man, you know, Turkey out of Sheik. He's out of money. That motherfucker will never go out of money. He got to die, be resurrected 3 times, and live another 100 years before he run out of money. Turkey is the cheat code. He's what boxing needed. All of this posturing and not fighting the best, this is what happened. Y'all killed ESPN. Y'all killed Showtime and HBO. The best wasn't fighting the best. Fighters jumping networks and he's not worth this and he hasn't done that. The days of doing that shit is over. It's over. Turkey said, yo, look, you guys are the main guns. How much money y'all want? You want 10 milli? You want 13? You're a bit of the A side? Granted, y'all getting it. I'm cutting y'all. As soon as y'all sign it, it's going to your bank account. All you got to do is train. No bullshit. And that's how it works from what I was told with Turkey. That's how it works. What you want, 10 mil? I got you. What did he offer Tiafimo for Devin? 11 milli. This motherfucker went from saying I never made $1 million to being offered 11 million to fight Devin. And the nigga said no. He's a duck. You know how you PBC, I'm glad you mentioned Spence, Delano. You know why that was a problem? When was the last time you saw Spence in the ring? And no, it wasn't because Bud beat him up. He didn't have that much damage. It looked bad. He just lost the fight. But he was supposed to be fighting Sebastian Fundora. Remember he got in the ring? I'm going to jump the line. I don't do lines. I'm going to jump the line. Remember all of that? Why that never happened? They didn't have the bread to pay Errol. So Errol sat back. You come up with the bread, we'll make the fight. Speaking of which, why do you think Errol Spence and Bud even fought? The PBC had nothing to do with it. Errol made that fight. You remember the tweets? I feel like I'm being played. He wasn't talking about the other side. He was talking about Al Heyman and company. Remember what Bud said? Al told me, I'm not letting anyone near this fight. They need a piece of the pie. And they were like, no. And Errol was like, fuck that. We fighting. Why do you think Bud said, thank you, Errol? There ain't no malice between them. He said, I got to shout out Errol for making it happen. He ain't shout out Al Heyman. Stop me when I'm lying. Go ahead. Go ahead. I know y'all want to so bad. But I'm gonna tell y'all all the time, stop me when I'm lying. If it's something that I don't know about, I'll say, hey, look, is it this? Is it that? I can speculate, but y'all know when I'm speculating. But all of these pieces came in, the puzzle got solved. I was actually convinced after the Errol Spence shit. I said, man, these brothers had to sit down and make this happen. Al had nothing to do with this. Something wrong. And then later on, the Tank shit happened. Scott in that super chat, he says, do you think Spence can still beat Boots, Drew? I might have to see. Ring rust and everything else, I'm gonna have to see. It could be ring rust, but he had a long time to heal. I have to see how he looks in his next fight. I have to see. Right now, Boots on fire. So if you know, gun to my head right now, I'm gonna say no because we don't know how Errol's gonna look. You know, gun to my head right now, I'm gonna say no, but you know, I didn't like Danny Garcia off the car accident and he whooped Danny's ass. So, you know, we got to see it. So, you know, 70-30 Boots right now. 70-30 Boots right now. And this is no shade, but we got to see how Errol look. But y'all get my point. So I'm like, well, how could this boxing juggernaut collapse like this? Well, y'all remember that business model we were introduced to about 14 years ago called back-end money? We never heard of this. All of these, where the boxing brains at? The people that know boxing business. Oh, this fight needs to marinate. Where you fanatics that talk like that? Where y'all at right now? Oh, this fight ain't ready yet. Let it marinate. Got y'all fans talking like y'all in the camp and y'all the business people. Got y'all trained. Where y'all at? Andrew 100, salute. Adewale M, salute. Anthony, what up? Delano says, Al put money in his fighters' pockets. I'm reading how he wrote it. First time I am hearing that he is not paying fighters, but most of his fighters are financially set, and that broke him. No. You got it all wrong. Back end money. I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. He was paying motherfuckers with a promise. And I'm going to show you. He was paying people with a promise. There's still people that fought from years ago. They ain't get all their money. That's why Floyd is suing Showtime. And I'm going to show you why he can't sue Al. He still ain't been paid all his money from his last two fights. The Manny Pacquiao fight, he ain't been paid all his money. And the Conor McGregor fight. They say, why not sue Al? Because of Al's title. He's not your manager. He's not your promoter. He's your advisor. You took his advice and made these deals yourself. So your beef ain't with Al. Beef was at Showtime, but let's do this. This is from the Boxing Voice. And this is got this guy's name. But watch this.
Michael, why couldn't you have gotten a stay busy fight in your own hometown? You stood out the entire 2023. Would that have taken you out the rankings, ruined your status? Why not stay busy?
Well, I'm going to throw PBC straight under the bus here because, you know, they locked me in the contract. They said, you know, the Garcia Lara fight and you're going to be on the undercard and, you know, you can't fight anywhere else. And then, you know, that fight didn't end up happening. So I couldn't be on the card. You know, they basically said wherever Lara Garcia back then was going to happen was where I was going to be on the card. You know, and
so you just had an open-ended contract with no date, no venue?
Correct. You know, they just said we're.
Do y'all understand what he just said? Do you know how fucked up that is? You locked in on a contract to fight on the undercard, but you can't fight anywhere else, which means you can't stay busy, which is not good for you, and you can't make any what? Money. You see that?
Yeah, we're waiting for the official date, and it just kept getting pushed from June to July to August, and it was always next month. I promise you. 4 or 5 weeks.
Tell me they at least gave you step aside money.
This it gets even better. I haven't received anything.
Lord have mercy. Thank you.
See that?
Well, hey, Michael, what?
See that? You see that? Tell me where that's fair, y'all. Tell me where that's fair. So we're going to get you on the undercard when they fight, but you can't fight anywhere else. Gio James, salute. You see what I mean? Shit like that. But where's this thing? Window. Why can't I? Let me see. Man, that's whack. I can't. Okay, I gotta do it like this then. This is what I was able to find. If this is incorrect, you let me know. You might be able to read that. You might not be able to. This is a little bit of something that was sent to me. I'll read it. During the term of this agreement, athlete agrees to render services solely and exclusively for advisor and agrees that he will not take part in or negotiate for any professional boxing contest whatsoever without first obtaining the written approval of advisor. So Al Heyman has to have a say-so in everything. You got that so far? You got that so far? Okay. Athlete hereby represents and warrants that he is free to enter into this agreement and that this agreement does not breach or violate any other agreements to which athlete is a party. Athlete hereby expressly agrees to identify and hold advisor harmless against any damages, liabilities, costs, or expenses, including legal fees and expenses incurred by or threatened against advisor as a result on any breach of these representations and warranties. Now, this is a bit in legalese. Jay Bean in that super chat salute, he says, here in Houston, we'd call him crook by the book. Yes, sir. There go my brother. Y'all read that, y'all. The Ali Act finesser. He dicked these niggas. That's what he did. Did y'all hear what I just read? Part B. Screenshot it and read it yourself. Screenshot it. Delano, you really don't get it, do you? You really don't get it. You really don't get it. A lot of them, I just told you that there's about, well, Blue told you in his video. There's about a dozen fighters, which means 12, that are having the same problem. They ain't been paid. I understand what Broner was told was, yeah, you know, you signed, we paid you up front for this, and you're supposed to be getting this back money, but in the meantime, we'll give you $2,500 a week. Then I heard the $2,500 went down to $1,000. And as soon as he gets his bread, he got to take his money out of the bank account before Uncle Sam gets it. So now he got regular debt because he got bills to pay and mouths to feed. And he also has Uncle Sam problem. You remember when Fred was talking about, I hope y'all paid y'all taxes? You remember he was doing videos about that? I hope y'all paid y'all taxes. Does Fred sound like a hater now? I'm just asking. Does he sound like a hater now? I'm just asking. I'm not firing shots at anybody. I'm just looking at this like, oh my God. Now, here's another thing. I didn't wish this on anybody. Remember, I defended Al Heyman for about 13 years. Leave him alone. He don't do no interviews. Get off his dick. I was defending him against the racist people. You know, they called him Black Hitler. And Fred was the only person that went up in that Golden Boy shit and said, hey, man, what's up with those racist emails from Golden Boy? And he got escorted out and they took his credentials. It's on YouTube. Did Al Heyman say, yo, good job, Fred? Thank you for that. Bernard Hopkins in there didn't say anything with his black ass. And then he starts revealing shit like this, and y'all called him a hater. Well, okay, fine. You don't have to agree with his politics. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to like him personally. But as it pertains to this, it's undeniable. Floyd is suing Showtime for $340 million because he can't sue Al Heyman based off of Part D from what I just read. Delano, Al Heyman is not in no financial difficulties. This shit here exonerates him from what I just read. It exonerates him from being sued. And they signed up for this. The only lawyer that I know about that be in my chat is Brian H. If you're there, if you're in here, just say you're in here and listen and let me know. I don't know if he's here. But let me know if I'm wrong on that. Look, I'm not no lawyer, but I'm just reading this. And mind you, somebody sent me this. This might not be the real shit, but if it is, this is why Al Heyman can't get sued, because they agreed not to sue him. And why do you think I called them, good little horse? Because didn't Adrian Broner say, I'm loyal, I'll never sue Al Heyman? Didn't he say that? He just said that a couple of days ago. I'm like, nah, bro. If you owe me $10, I want my money. I'll never sue Al. What's really going on? I mean, we saw Tank Davis dancing half naked and smacking his butt. Why ain't you suing him? Now, if Floyd got for $340 million and AB got for God knows how much, Tank was trying to make $40 million outside of the PBC with Jake Paul to make his $40 million and get out the game. But what happened to him saying, me and Al are retiring at the end of 2025? You and Al? Let me find out. Mellow Yellow buddied up with Al like how Floyd buddied up with the 24 karat community. Does everything make sense now? We boycotting Gucci. He says, what'd he say? I don't protest, I invest. What are you investing in, man? Rabbi Floyd? The dude got a yarmulke made out of diamonds. Check my Patreon. But I said, nah, at this level, none of these guys that move around at this level, because this is elite at this point. At this level, every move you make is supposed to net you dividends and protect whatever wealth you have. You understand? So why are you really butted up with the 24 karat community? It's a high price version of chapter 11. But if you think those people ain't gonna make you work for it, whether they want that booty or that sweet mouth and video of it so you don't backstab them, and as soon as you backstab us, this video's going out. If they want you to fight in a monkey suit, you're going to do it because you're now a smut. You were never the boss that you told us you were. Come to find out. I thought everything was all good. Now look, $340 million back-end money. Because I'm sure he got paid up front, but back-end money. If they said, Floyd, you fighting Conor McGregor. Okay, cool. All right, we project it's going to do about $500 million. Okay? How much of that am I getting? Well, we're going to pay you $20 million up front. And these ain't the numbers. I'm just giving you an example. We're going to pay you $20 million up front. But when all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, you're going to end up with about maybe $360 million. Okay, sign me up. That fight was years ago. Now we're in 2026. Al Heyman's getting out the business. PBC can't secure a deal with Amazon. All these fighters are having problems, and Floyd's like, wait a minute, Showtime's out the business. Al, where my money at? Well, according to this paperwork that you signed, you can't sue me, bro. I just advised you to do this and that, and you took my advice. You can't sue me. I'm not the one with that bag. Showtime. They got your money. See? But I don't know what I'm talking about. But let's go back. You want me to read part D again? Athlete hereby represents and warrants that he is free to enter into this agreement and that this agreement does not breach or violate any other agreements to which the athlete is a party. Athlete hereby expressly agrees to indemnify. Y'all know what indemnify means? Oh my God, that word is powerful. Indemnify and hold advisor. Let me go back. Athlete hereby expressly agrees to indemnify and hold the advisor harmless against any damages, liabilities, costs, or expenses, including legal fees and expenses, incurred by or threatened against advisor as a result of any breach of these representations and warranties. He cannot sue Al Heyman because of that right there. Y'all understand? Take a screenshot of this and zoom in because you might not be able to see it if you're on your phone. This is very fucking important. That right there is why he can't sue Al Heyman. They have advisor in bold type. Let's go to part E. Advisor hereby represents and warrants that he is free to enter into this agreement and that this agreement does not breach or violate any other agreements to which the advisor is a party. Advisor hereby, wait, I read that already. I'm bugging. Oh, wait. I didn't read that already. You know why? Part D and Part E are the same. Part D applies to the athlete. Part E applies to the advisor. So they're agreeing. Hey, you can't sue me. Hey, I can't be sued. See that? So if I'm misreading this, bring me up on speed. Al can't sue the athlete and the athlete can't sue Al. Al can't sue. If I'm wrong on that, let me know. I'm no expert. But the way I'm interpreting this, the boxers can't sue Al and Al can't sue the boxers. It's a clean slate. And that's the part that made the athlete feel comfortable. Hey, man, you know, if this goes wrong, you can't sue me. But guess what? I can't sue you either. You can't beat that because I can't sue you. Bob Arum tries to sue fighters all the time. Don King tries to sue fighters all the time. But if some business goes wrong, don't worry, I can't sue you. And it's in the contract. It made them feel real comfortable. D and E are the same thing. But one is for the advisor and one is for the athlete. That's what I was saying. Did I read this already? No. See that? Well played. So let's go to F. This is where they F'd. Athlete, listen to this. athlete acknowledges that the advisor has no present or future responsibilities or duties with respect to the conduct of the athlete's personal, financial, and business affairs, and that the advisor's duties are limited solely to boxing and entertainment-related matters. Do you understand what I just read? Oh my God, this is well played. Athlete expressly agrees to indemnify and hold the advisor harmless against any damages, liabilities, costs, or expenses, including legal fees, with respect to any claims or litigation relating to said personal, financial, and business affairs. You cannot sue Al Heyman because of his title, and they signed this. That's why he's suing Showtime and that Al, because he can't. Floyd knew this, and his lawyers, if Floyd didn't know this, because whether he could read or not, if we're still on that type of joke, he said, "Oh, I don't need to know how to read. I can count." Well, can you count the 340 million? Where's that? But Floyd ain't the only person that signed this. I believe all PBC fighters signed this. And when the money was flowing, it was flowing, wasn't it? It was flowing. But they drained their own swamp with this back-end money. When Tank and Ryan Garcia fought, I was told that up front, Tank got $5 million. Up front, Ryan got 2.5. When all the money came in, Tank ended up with like 36 mil, and Ryan ended up with, 30 mil? Something like that. Something like that. That's back-end money. So when cats say, "Hey, man, what was your highest payday? Up front or in total?" Up front is what you know about, the $5 million. In total, with the back-end money, it was like 30. So you got to understand, when we say Turkey Al-Sheikh was offering Tank his highest payday to fight Devin, that's what it was. It was 50 million. They were splitting 25 apiece. Up front, that was his highest payday. You don't need no back-end money with Turkey. You're getting what it is. So up front, Teofimo was offered 11 million to fight Devin, which was higher than what Tank was offered up front. Back-end money, you're rolling the dice. Now, unless they say we anticipate Floyd, when all the money comes in, it's going to be $340 million you're going to be seeing. If that's in writing and somebody signed off on that, if Showtime says when all the money's accounted for, you're going to get $340 million and that's in writing, they're going to have to pay Floyd. But if they say, "Hey, man, Al told you that. You got what you got from us. Your beef is with Al." And it may be with Al, but according to this, you can't sue Al. Dummy. You see? Back-end money. Back shot money. So let's go here. Severability. It is understood and agreed by the parties hereto that if any section, term, or provision of this agreement is held by any court or other applicable authority having jurisdiction to be illegal or in conflict with any local law or policy of any state, province, or county where athlete is required to perform, the validity of the remaining portions or provisions shall not be affected, and the rights and obligations of the parties shall be construed as if the agreement did not contain the particular section, term, or provision held to be invalid. Y'all get that? That might be too much. That's the thing with legalese, is that it could be one long fucking sentence. Read it slow. Read it slow. I don't want to read it again because I ain't got too much time left. Entire agreement. This agreement constitutes the entire agreement between the parties. All other agreements related hereto that are not contained herein or hereby terminated. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck suing Al. Matter of fact, he's not suing Al. He's suing Showtime. Hey, here's my question. If Floyd is going through this, what's Tank going through? Because 1 minute you had a 7-fight deal worth more than what Floyd ever made. Well, what did Floyd make if he's suing for $340 million? Because he ain't got it. Philip D, my brother, salute. Because he ain't got it. Where's his $340 million? He ain't got it. So if it's worth more than what Floyd ever generated or signed for, then what is it? So you got that going on. What else you got? What else you got? Tell me what else you got. AB's running around saying, I'm loyal to Al, I'm not going to sue him. You know why? Because Al is still sitting on money. And AB is trying to play nice. AB has nothing going on. He's not fighting again. And if he does, he's not going to get ranked. It's over for him. So for him, it's brother, can you spare a dime? Now, what they could try and do, all these fighters at the PBC, they can try and hit Al with a class action lawsuit, but they're going to have to unite and do that. And doing class action lawsuits, man, everybody got to be on the same page. AB is already saying, I'm loyal to Al. Kawhi, I don't know, bro. All I'm saying is, as it pertains to the PBC and Tank and Floyd and Broner and how everything is going, I don't care who you root for. I don't care how much you love Tank. Tank is in the pickle. Y'all play with y'all pickle with Tank, but he's in the pickle right now. Delano, there's no way out of this. Everyone knows who Al Heyman is. Al Heyman is a real person. I've seen him walking in video. He's a real person. He came from the music industry. I've been knew about Al Heyman. And he got involved in the business of boxing. Now, I done told you there was good with him and there was bad with him. Now this is the part of the bad. Fighters are waiting for back-end money that never showed up. They severed ties with Showtime. There's no money. It seems that either Showtime's holding out money and trying to jerk these guys around. But they, according to Blue, there's about a dozen fighters that are still waiting on their back end money. Serious salute. Where the money at? You told us that there's back end money, and for all they know, they probably could say, "Hey, man, look. We told you it's a possibility you could make $5 million, but we didn't tell you exactly when the money was going to get there. So in the meantime, we're putting you on an allowance." AB just said I was getting $2,500 a week. Man, I know dudes that work in corporate America that's making $2,500 a week. What's that? You're $1 million fighter. Exactly, hen dog. There ain't no more money. For all we know, Showtime could say, "Hey, man, we fulfilled our end of the deal. The $90 million he got, that was from us, revenue, and he got points off of the venue and the pay-per-view sales. Floyd got his money. We didn't tell him he was going to get an additional this amount that equates to $340 million. He got to go talk to Al Heyman. Well, who's Al Heyman? He's an advisor. Oh, well, you got to sue your advisor. Well, that'd be nice, but according to this that you signed, that money he told you was coming never came. You can't sue anybody for that. That shit over. It's over. Now, this isn't my fault. This isn't Fred Hawthorne's fault. This isn't no Coon's fault. This isn't the LDBC's fault. You can blame whoever you want to blame. Floyd's not suing the LDBC. Floyd's suing Showtime for $340 million. And we're just talking about it. And we're just as shocked as everybody else. But now with this happening, now the Tank Davis shit with the Amazon and not being able to secure the Toyota Center, now it makes sense. AB was supposed to be the next big thing up. He's now a joke, a drunk walking around Vegas or whatever. And he's a joke now, and it's sad. And I want you guys to understand something. I'm not making fun of this, but this has become quite the typical story, has it not? Fighters busting their ass, a lot of fame, some fortune, and at the end, when they land in their plane, they turn around and ain't got shit to show for it. Why every time I look at social media and see AB, he's drunk? Where's people at that love him? They say, man, stop this bullshit. Why isn't he training young fighters how to watch their finances? Why is he not in the gym in Ohio somewhere training kids? He still got some star power like that. Why is he not talking to the Olympic team? Making things right. Here's what you don't do if you go pro. Broke my heart to hear that this motherfucker was on an allowance, $2,500. Then it dropped down to fucking $1,000. And he got Uncle Sam issues. Nobody taught these kids, yo, the first thing you do on any level, if you paying quarterly, y'all know what it is to pay quarterly taxes? Now I'm talking language that there go my brother Joe Townsend. I know he knows what it is to pay quarterly taxes. That's when you tell Uncle Sam, hey man, I made X amount of dollars and this is what you're getting. When you're a business owner, you tell Uncle Sam what you're getting. Hey, I made these 6 figures, but I got to pay for my cell phone. I had business meetings. I had to hop on this jet plane several times. I had to rent cars, call an Uber, and this and that. So my expenses, although I made 6 figures, about 70,000 of that was working my business. So Uncle Sam, I need that back. The rest of us just rely on W-2s. But when you're 1099, that's different. And I'm not shitting on y'all. I'm just saying it works different for business owners. These guys was in positions where they need to do that. They didn't have anybody around them to say, yo, this is how money works. No one sat down with Al Heyman and said, yo, look, I'm going to set y'all up to show y'all how money works. Did he do that? Did Floyd try to do that with AB? Because, we all thought that Floyd was, doing good things with his money, right? Wasn't he just in New York talking about how he's buying brownstones? Hey, wait a minute. You know who owns a lot of real estate in New York? That 24-karat community. I'm going to ask y'all again. Why do you think he really buddied up with them? It all makes sense now, right? Because I was like, man, you can't hate yourself that much. And I don't hate that community. I wish black people was as organized as them. But we're not. So I said, all right, maybe, he's doing real estate. So yeah, they're good people to party up with. Oh, they're giving him a diamond-studded yarmulke, calling him Rabbi Floyd. I said, this is a little strange. Now he's suing for $340 million. Now it makes sense. Now, whether it works out between him and Showtime, does he have a case? I don't know. Maybe they meet halfway. We ain't got 340, but according to our books, we do owe you about 100. We'll give you 100 and go away. We might settle for 50 and go away. Turns out he's not as smart as he thought he was. There you go. I know about that. I know Joseph knows about that. Once you reach a tax bracket, you got to know about these things. Because let me tell you something. You don't want no smoke with the IRS. They will fuck you up. They will sit there and watch you for years, shit your money away, accumulate all of this, not even assets. You buying mansions and cars. You go out of town for about 2 weeks, come back, your shit boarded up. Like, what happened? Yo, you owe us $2 million, bruh. So if you ain't got no check for us right now, this is our shit. Happens to athletes, happens to musicians, happens to actors. You got to have your shit under control. You might be in the red for about 2 years. You might be in Hollywood films and everything else, and they may think you making money. You making money, but you know what you're doing? You stacking your chips. Before I move out my apartment, I gotta save my bread. I gotta save my bread. And I gotta have Uncle Sam under control. I gotta hire people to pay my taxes or put me in the right direction. And I gotta hire people to watch their ass too, to make sure they're not robbing me. I'm sure y'all know about MC Hammer, but do you ever hear him talk about what happened to him? A lot of it was him surrounding himself with a bunch of knuckle draggers that he trusted. Go listen to his story. Y'all know about it, but do you know about it? Adrian Broner is loyal to Al because Al can't be touched, and he feels that Al will not leave him homeless. But AB, what happens? Because eventually the inevitable happens. What happens when Al Heyman passes? What are you going to do? Brother Cali, salute. He says, Drew, you have to read Dr. Jared Ball's 2 books, The Myth of Black Buying Power, Volume 1 and 2. Thank you. Put me up on game. I'm looking at that title. That's definitely a good read. Myth of Black Buying Power. The myth. Like I said before, I don't protest, I invest. On Gucci. Gucci took, I think he dropped 8 million. That's what he said. He dropped 8 million on Gucci. 8 million on Gucci while we protested. 8 million. And you're now suing for $340 million. Showtime, you're suing. How about that, monkey? You know how he feels? Let me take you back to when I was like maybe 20 years old. I was a college student. And I didn't make much money. I was bouncing at clubs, right? And I remember my friends and I went to hang out. I had about $300, and we go to a strip club. Y'all already know where this is going. And we went crazy in there, spending money we didn't have. And I left out that club with $60. I got home, right? I didn't get no booty from no chick in there. Because, you know, back then, you try to get chicks to leave with you. That ain't work out. So I ain't getting no ass. Had boobs in my face and glitter on my face. No sex. So you go home with a heart on. You're mad. And I said, man, I had $300. Now I got 60. And I had a phone bill to pay. And I barely had gas for my car. And I'm sitting in the middle of my room with my lip poked out, playing PlayStation. That is an L. Go! That's an L. Don't tell me what your priorities are. Show me where you spend your money, and I will tell you what they are. That night, I said, you know what? I can't do this to myself. I can't do this to myself. Now, whether it's a strip club, a regular club, taking a girl out on a date with money you don't have, with a chick that you're not courting to be your wife, you know, you got to be practical, bruh. These are lessons learned. I share this with you for a reason. Yeah, I was stupid once upon a time too. Yes. But you got to fail forward. Now you see that AB fail forward? No. He's still walking around with that chain he got on his neck. That shit got to be $200K. Hey, bro, you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that. You got to call the IRS and say, I got to work out a payment plan. This is what I make. So monthly, can we make a deal where I could pay you X amount of dollars for a deal? And you got to get to work, bruh. You got to get to work. But never mind AB and never mind Floyd. I told y'all there's about a dozen fighters that are having the same issue, all with the PBC. And the PBC was going to work with Amazon, and now that's vanished. I asked y'all earlier in the show, who still thinks the PBC runs boxing? Delano, people don't know what residual income is. They don't know. Yeah, I know Joe Townsend. I know. I had beef with the IRS years ago too. But you know what? I don't miss a payment. IRS will fuck your credit up, bro. Shit. They got their money. They got their money so much that they had to send me a check. I overpaid their ass by a month. No, by like 3 months. I was like, shit, I done paid them so much. I overpaid them. They said, no, I felt good. They sent me back a $3,000 check. I said, ooh, almost cried. Hassan says, does this mean Tank was getting robbed too? Probably. I don't know. Which is probably why Mellow Yellow said, hey, me and Al are retiring at the end of 2025. I'm like, why is you and Al retiring? And now AB saying, I'll never sue Al. I'm loyal. But I'm telling y'all, it's about a dozen fighters that have the same problem, and Floyd is suing for $340 million. But all these fighters, if all of these fighters sign this contract, now mind you, here's what I'm gonna tell y'all. This was sent to me. I don't even know if this sounds like the PBC shit. All I know, this could be fake, but I'm doing this show based off of this being for real. But what we do know is that the PBC has problems. For all I know, this could be bullshit that I just read to you. But I'm going off of this being what I was told it was. Okay? And if it's this explains a lot. They're saying that Floyd Mayweather is an unloyal hoe. Didn't Black tell y'all these fighters are horse? Did he tell y'all that? All y'all that thought Tank was the boss, how y'all looking now? You know who's the boss? DHP. You know who's the boss? Deontay Wilder. He ain't suing Al. He ain't got these problems. DHP ain't suing Al or Showtime or no network. They ain't got these problems. Errol Spence, he ain't suing Al. He ain't got these problems. Man Down Promotions, right? He ain't got these problems. Why is it that Floyd, the flag, he was the flagship of the PBC. He got these problems. And AB was next up. He got these problems. And Tank, the face of boxing, right? Remember that? Al Heyman said, let me bring in this sweet-looking Mexican. How do you say cinnamon in Espanol? Canelo. Come on in. Here, take this money. Fight these guys, except Benavidez. He was in and out. Like you banging a hooker on a Friday night in the alley. You got to be quick. Y'all disgusting. But you had your sweet bitch right next to you, right? And the first thing I said was, what happened? Al Heyman he don't see no value in Tank. Tank got all these contemporaries around, and according to his fanatics, Tank beats everybody. So in that 7-fight deal, he could have worked with DHP because DHP is independent. Tiafimo, right? He could have easily got a Tiafimo fight. Shakur, I mean, you'd have had to go through red tape with Bob Arum, but Bob Arum would have made a deal. So we thought we had something. You know what we got? Nothing. We got Lamont Roach to a draw. And we can't even get that rematch back. Then he was trying to sneak away and make 40 mil. Does it make sense now? He's trying to sneak away to make $40 million. That's the nest egg. With Jake Paul. And y'all ran around talking about he ain't got to bend the knee to Turkey Al-Sheikh. But he was bending the knee to Jake Paul. And shout out to Jake Paul with your racist ass. Yeah, I saw it. I ain't get to you yet. We gonna get to you, buddy. We gonna get to you. You bent the knee to that dude. But you ain't want to bend the knee to Turkey Al-Sheikh. And matter of fact, you're not bending a knee to Turkey Al-Sheikh. He's saying, take my money, just fight your contemporary. I'm just trying to build a business over here. You're a name. I'm gonna pay you. What is the problem? You're not bending a knee. I'm giving you money to fight a guy that everyone said you're going to knock out anyway. And Tank didn't do it. And y'all called him a boss? Well, how's that working out now? Tell me. Where the Tank fans at? How's it working out now? Tell me. Stop me when I'm lying. I keep it simple over here. Stop me when I'm lying. You can't. Right now, your lips is poked out. You're grinding your teeth. You're making response videos. You're sending out subliminals. Yeah, some big nigga that jumps rope in the Bronx, he don't like Tank. Well, you're right. I'm a big nigga that jumps rope, and I'm from the Bronx, and I don't like Tank. No lies detected. But never mind me. Address this. You can say what you want about me. Either it's going to be true or not. But after you roast me for an hour, get to the facts. My skin is thick. I don't care about what you say about me. You don't know me. You don't like what I had to say. Now, if you see this different, cool. State your case. Because this is what I see. The PBC's done. Boxing is, there's no network that wants to carry boxing because of the bullshit. Your last sighting on the last time you saw boxing on ESPN, you saw Keyshawn Davis and his brothers acting a fool, acting like a bunch of knuckle draggers. That's what you saw. Black eye to the sport. What was ESPN's last boxing event? It's supposed to be legendary with throwback fights, and you should do in you know how they do those in memories, classic Friday night fights, and couldn't do that. Keyshawn fucked it all up. You saw him beating on the dude that beat on his brother and the baby in the carriage, his baby in the carriage. I'm like, this is disgusting, man. That is embarrassing. And that's the last Showtime. That's the last boxing show you saw on Showtime. Stop me when I'm lying. And people saw that and say, hey, man, this is why we don't want these new niggas bouncing around on my network. But if they're going to do that, they can't. If the monkeys can't control themselves, no. So it's not on Fox anymore. It's not on ESPN anymore. And ESPN is the worldwide leader of sports. It's not on ESPN anymore. You got to go to Tubi. Hey, wait a minute. All of you real journalists that get mad at us, that y'all disrespected the YouTubers that talk boxing. How y'all feel now? Y'all first felt it during the pandemic because we were still doing numbers and y'all were getting laid off because they couldn't pay you because you couldn't cover anything because no one could leave the house. How you living? How you living? We win. Time reveals all truth. So now boxing got back on. And now they have no networks. And the worst person in the world for y'all became your best friend. Turkey Al-Sheikh came in with real money and got y'all knuckle draggers and colonizers jumping through hoops because y'all got to get paid. Everybody got to get paid. And Turkey got real money. And everybody ran over there to say, okay, I'm going to fight my contemporaries and I'm going to make money and I'm going to beat my contemporary and move up the ladder. And who's the only person left out of that? Tank. And he got on his Twitter, though. Like Lomachenko said, he's the best of the best on Twitter. He's the best of the best on Twitter. Remember that? I said, ooh, Tank, punch him in the face. Nope. Nope. So Captain Twitter Fingers says, y'all selling y'all O's just for money. Baltimore. Well, you're selling your whole for a retirement plan that never came. Because everybody went over there to test their mettle against their contemporaries. Because before, fighters was being on opposite sides of the streets. They couldn't fight. Oh, this guy fights for Queensberry. And this guy, his contemporary, fights for Matchroom. They'll never fight. Turkey said, I got bread. They fighting. They fighting. And who got mad? Tank. Because if Tank took his ass over there, he was fighting everybody. Now, question to you Mellow Yellow fans. If Tank beats everybody, why wasn't his monkey ass over there with his contemporaries killing the competition? You know why? Because he's afraid and he knows he can't beat those guys. He can't beat Shakur. He cannot beat Devin. He can't beat Loma. And I don't even think he could beat Teofimo Lopez. What? He can? Show me. Go! See how that works? See how that works? Okay. Okay. There you go. Everybody else putting in work. What type of time Tank Davis was on?
Faggot shit.
There it is. So let this be the nail in the coffin for you Tank fanatics. It's over for y'all. And I hope he doesn't go to jail, and I hope he fights again. Because outside of fighting his contemporaries, because by then, everybody's going to be on 140, 147, and that's going to be y'all excuse. But still at 135, he's going to get beat up. Prove me wrong. But first, beat your case. But until then... Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda Cash App, the Super Chat. I enjoyed this Monkey Tuesday. Now, mind you, disclaimer. That information was sent to me. I'm only going off of it being what it was told me, what it was told it was to me. But still in all, Floyd suing Showtime instead of Al. He signed up that he can't sue Al under any circumstances. Pray for Adrian Broner. I'd say pray for Money May, but you know, his Jewish brothers got him. And pray for Tank if you want. If you want. If you want. If you want. If you want.
I'm gay. Gay. Like super gay. Like one down here, one here, one here, one here gay. I thought you knew that.
Bronx on deck. Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Nigger, nigger.